Hi, and welcome to the conclusion of the Global Agile Tea Time. Yeah, maybe I'm looking a bit tired because it's already 3 a.m. Today I had like two interesting meetups, and one was the Global Agile Tea Time. The other one was a design thinking exercise, which actually lasts until 2 a.m. That's why I'm still here now, because all the people were from US and I'm in Germany, and we have some time shift. And the time shift or working through multiple time zones was a topic, while the Global Agile Tea Time also remote, how to collaborate in remote teams and do team building with technical help. And we also had other topics. We did a lean coffee discussion. We had amazing people at the event, which were collaboratively working on topics. And the other topics were how to be more effective as a permanent employee or as a contractor in the role of agile coach. Also, is continuous deployment in a success factor in agile software development, where we looked in, and curious to others use experience of using generative AI and facilitating team conversations such as retrospectives and that stuff. And there we collected some tools and approaches which you could use. So let's have a look into the discussions and what came out at the topics. And I'm really happy that we had 12 people today. So already a bigger growing group.
Hi, yes, that was me. I was wondering if anyone or if there are experience to be shared on how to best run a team that is on three different time zones. It seems that the challenge that we have or I face is that no matter what I do for the ceremonies, one region is up or should be up in their middle of the night. So I'm curious if anyone faced that and how they overcame it.
Agility in remote teams, how we can do team building. So team building for remote teams from?
Yeah, this is from me.
Well, yeah. Like I'm working mostly with remote teams. Actually, I don't remember the last like 7 years. All of them are remote. Like sometimes I meet one or the other person from the teams, but that's just random things. So like I would first talk.
So I try to create that safe zone for people. I know that people is different. Somebody can just be loud and speak too much and somebody not. But yeah, maybe I want to try to build this zone.
I did have some good experience, if that's possible within the company, trying to get offshore to come on site and do some face-to-face, getting to know each other better. Lunch and dinner are really good informal ways to connect people.
So what I found is that some people are naturally shy or don't like to speak in public. What we did, and we had to consistently do that for some amount of time, was do roundtables and assured everyone that everyone's opinion mattered as much as the rest, and encouraged everyone to speak. And when we had people that did not speak, we called them out and asked for their opinion.
I personally have very good experience with like more working meetings. So, for example, last team I introduced mob review. Before they were talking a lot about how they should code and all that stuff. But when I introduced mob review, where everyone had to show some stuff he produced, people were get used to ask others for help, to get feedback on what they did.
I was facilitating a session on how to have more effective meetings. And so what I did is I broke everybody up into groups of pairs. And then the assignment was share about the most successful meeting you've ever facilitated or the most successful meeting you've ever been a part of.
Like I'm working mostly with remote teams. Actually, I don't remember the last like 7 years. All of them are remote. Like sometimes I meet one or the other person from the teams, but that's just random things. So like I would first ask the question, I would first address the question what I'm trying to solve themselves, and then if there was actually a problem, like you see it and you ask, okay, how did we face it? And they said, okay, I thought that there may be a problem, but I didn't want to speak up because of stuff.
So I try to create that safe zone for people. I know that people is different. Somebody can just be loud and speak too much and somebody not. But yeah, maybe I want to try to build this zone.
That was mine. As I'm getting ready to make a shift over, my curiosity was, I've only ever worked as an internal coach, like as an employee, and it seems to have really good effectiveness for the first year, and then it seems like there's a really sharp drop of the effectiveness that I've had across the organization. So I'm wondering, like, does it make more sense to be a contractor? Does it make more sense as an internal coach? How can I be more effective? That's a great question. There's obviously more to change, but so I don't know if like it's a limitation of my skills or if it's just come in and change the big pieces, the big rocks, and then maybe equip and teach them to change the small rocks.
And I'm working right now like a contractor. Like I see the bad thing in my effectiveness, which is once I was working as an employee, the scope of the projects that I was part of or I was responsible for were much higher. Like the bigger scope, the bigger impact, the bigger complexity, and the bigger gains.
And another angle I found myself thinking on is as a contractor, I know I'm going to be outside the company versus so thinking a lot more how to work through people, and they need to carry the change and sustain it versus, hey, I'll be in this company for a long time. So that mindset change.
And if I had a company in Bremen, which is just 100 kilometers away, people were different to me because I came all the way from Hamburg, and then they treat you already differently. So I'm not that guy sitting at the same place and going to the same office every day, but other people like it. They like to meet the people, and then they tell, yeah, with him I introduced Windows 95 together. So it's a bit a type question.
So maybe like you mentioned, you have like a newer tool set. Once you're within the company, you're used to using the tool set or these companies using the methodologies, the software, how the people communicate. And but you have so many new practices, and sometimes the company admits that, like, okay, we will work with you, we will readapt, we will review the way that we work.
I think there's a lot of power in having a combination of employees and contractors. I'm an internal, and I feel like there is more gravitas because I want to see it through, see the change through, and realize the outcomes with everybody, not just come and go based on a contract.
The next one is continuous deployment as agile success factor. It's more like a statement, I think. As easier it is for the team to integrate and deploy their software, as more often they're likely to do it. At Scrum, we have this event, or like the continuous production of potential shippable products. And if you have like a full automatization of it, and it's as easy to hit a button to make a release, the teams will likely do it. And on the other hand, I see a lot of teams struggling creating a so-called release at the end of the sprint, or maybe of 2 sprints together, or maybe of 1.5 sprints together of the stories, which should be released in like a few days or weeks after the sprint. And for me, if I have like continuous deployment or continuous delivery or integration, all of them, it's easier for the team to just bring something in production.
Actually, we have one DevOps that he had the experience about that automation system. So he joined us and implement the whole process and strategy. And after that, trained the team to follow him. something like that. So it's not something from scratch that everyone involved. So everyone just follow that is a strategy. And now, yeah, we usually have 2 release each sprint, which means each weeks.
There were so many. TeamCity, Azure, Kubernetes, like based, like containers, GitLab,
Yeah.
workflows. Oh my God. DigitalOcean pipelines, like 4. So
Okay, so a lot of DevOps technologies.
yeah. Like in every team, there was some like decision made, never by me. Like I was the engineering manager, but like the DevOps always, took over and just made their, introduction of a new technology. And like I didn't actually care because like every now and then I wanted just, the right tasks.
That's is something I did when I had like multiple teams. I did like more technical retrospective on a release. See, it was actually a bit like the blameless postmortem in a retrospective way, and then see where you can optimize things. I think Rob wrote something about the DORA metrics. Can you explain it a bit in the last 2 minutes? I think Rob wrote something about the DORA metrics. Can you explain it a bit in the last 2 minutes?
I'll give it a try. So I'm recently starting to play around with a bit more, but also tempering a bit around the resistance and change management, is to have a bit of a conversation with the team first on DORA and explain a bit of the concepts, and then do a maturity scan with the team on do they know where their data lives, how they score themselves, do they have conversations on that, and based on that I will get a sense, and they themselves, where they are. If we're lucky, then they are motivated themselves to kind of change the status quo. Ideally, they get to choose their tech. There may be some boundaries or guidelines from the team, from the company to adhere to. Potentially connect them to some tooling.
On against moving, I had that feeling. So we have some AI topic, the most hyped topic at the moment.
It's nice that the most hyped topic didn't get to go first. That's happy to do so, given I was the one injecting it. Yeah, so I recently started to experiment a bit with Gen AI facilitated team sessions. For example, that DORA maturity inspection, I kind of crafted a prompt that let Gen AI act as a quiz master. I preload a set of questions, and then Gen AI will start to quiz the team with these questions.
Yeah, I mean, you said that you tried a thing called AI assisted sessions, right? But
Yes.
I mean, what is the product name, and like
if the company already has a own business tool they use that's kind of keep their privacy, or if they use a free open one. You can use ChatGPT as well, or any other language model for this. At least I've also tested it today in my own personal ChatGPT, and that also seemed to.
I was using one for the Notion, like Notion AI, like the boards and like the text in Notion, and the like how I was using that for reporting. Like we were doing stuff, me and the team, and then I just there's a guy with a nose, like with a very long thread, like an angle.
So that was basically it. I will make it an open discussion, and I thank you all for taking part. We had like 12 people here, and really like to see that different kind of people. If you want to come back next month, I'm gonna announce it today or tomorrow. It's going to be the second Wednesday of May, which is the 7th of May. As any time, hosting the Global Agile Tea Time was fun again. It was great pleasure to meet so much different people from different places of the world. And actually work out some interesting stuff. These meetups are always a surprise. If you want to support them, make sure to follow my company page on LinkedIn and make sure to subscribe my YouTube channel to receive updates on it. So we can see each other next time, either in my next video or at a Global Agile Tea Time meetup.